guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica.
My name is Darwin.
And today we're just going to kind of dive in onto what's been going on recently. We're going to have more than have a specific topic to talk about. We're just going to talk about what's really been going on because we don't want to stick to one topic today. So let's talk about this verification situation going on Instagram because I'm very confused.
The blue badge.
Right. The blue badge that's been very glorified.
Before we go into what actually happened, what are your thoughts on the having the blue check mark next to you?
I mean, before all of this started happening, it kind of gave you credibility. Like it made your account look, credible. But I feel like now with what they're trying to implement, it's just going to take the value away from the blue check mark. It's going to be like, I could just pay for it, for having it. Before, it was kind of like a process.
Yeah, you had to get published in multiple media outlets like newspapers and stuff like that for them to verify like that you're actually who you say you are.
Right.
Not like your ID means anything, but...
What do you mean your ID doesn't mean
anything? I'm saying
anything?
back then, you couldn't just submit your ID. Now, so what they have now is a $15 a month plan that you pay for your verification check. And they did this because Twitter recently started doing this. But Twitter charges, I believe, is $8. So the reason why Twitter did it is because they want to eliminate as much bots as possible. Okay. So by them doing that, it kind of separated who's legit versus who's trying to portray somebody they're really not.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I guess Meta is the owner of Facebook, previous Facebook and Instagram. They decided, hey, that's kind of smart.
It's smart from a protection, if you want to see it that way, but it's also smart for their pockets. Because now it's like a subscription kind of thing.
Exactly. So initially what they said was we're going to offer this service to verify you, and then we're going to offer you more reach, right? And then it's going to, for the bots, what was it? Or a dedicated line for like tech support, whatever. Who the hell's calling Instagram every weekend? Talking about problems. I've never called them once in my life. But now they're no longer offering the reach.
So that changed?
Yeah, they withdrew that.
Where you got that information from?
My sources. No, but that's the plan. They no longer, they removed that. They're not offering that as the thing. They're just offering.
So the $15 no longer gets you reach?
No.
It's just for you to verify that you are you.
Exactly.
And why the thing I have with that is, why do I have to pay on a monthly basis? Why can't it just be just one payment?
Okay, and the thing I have for you is, why would you pay for it? You don't have to pay for it. It's not mandatory.
That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like, you know what? I don't know if I should be saying this out loud, but, I'm pretty sure they thought about it. But, I mean, technically, if you tell me, okay, you're going to pay $15 a month and you're going to be guaranteed to have a certain reach, then I can see how that would make a little bit more sense. It's still, like, unfair. Like, come on, let's go back to being free, Instagram. I don't want to pay. But, then in my head, that would make more sense as a business. Like, as a regular person who's just, like, posting on Instagram for fun, it wouldn't make sense. $15 a month is not a little bit for you to be paying on a monthly basis for you not being a business or just posting regular content. But as a business owner or a content creator,
so you can't.
That would make a little sense.
So you can't submit it if you're a business. You have to be a legitimate person. Like you can't get verified as a business.
Yeah, but every business has an owner.
Yeah, but there is a business name and there is your name. So when you submit the verification, you have to submit your picture, a photo ID. So it can't be like Frozen Visuals because it's not gonna match.
Well, yeah, but Frozen Visuals has an owner. So
but you can't verify it unless it's your name.
So if my account says Frozen Visuals and I'm the owner, I can't verify my Frozen Visuals account?
From my understanding, you can't because it has to match your ID. But I don't know those details. But now I'm gonna tell you, because you were saying it's not worth it because of the reach. It would only be worth it for you if you had reach.
If there's some, I mean, just verifying that I am me, for me, doesn't cut it. I mean, recently I've been getting amazing reach.
Okay.
It fluctuates all the time, but I'm not verified.
Now I'm gonna ask a question. If you're paying $15 for a certain amount of reach, let's say you own the business Instagram, where does that leave the people who buy ads if they no longer have to spend money on ads because they're paying $15 a month? Because now you're removing that income from ads because you decided to do a $15 monthly plan that not everybody's gonna do.
You're saying from the perspective of like if I'm a
If
company
you're the owner,
and
if you're the owner of Instagram, like the business, what do you think makes more sense?
Can you repeat that?
So you're saying it's not worth it to you because they're not giving you reach. The reason for them not giving you reach is because then they will lose money on people who pay for ads. You understand?
So you mean like a company who pays to put their ads on
Company, a
Instagram?
person, anybody could pay for ads.
Right.
To promote their post.
How is that?
Because now you feel entitled because you're paying $15 a month. So why would you pay ads? Because now they're supposed to push your content.
Okay.
You understand?
So why would any company or business pay ads when I'm paying $15 a month and you're saying I'm going to get reach with those $15?
Okay, now I'm going to ask you another question.
So that's why they removed the reach part. Okay.
It was probably too much of a commitment to them because what's reach?
Right.
Reach is relative to base how big your account is.
Yeah, how much reach you think is enough.
And what if you do shitty content? Like, why should you reach a lot of people? Right? Like you shouldn't be having to pay for reach unless you're paying for a specific post. Like your content should be good enough to go about. Right? But as a business model, I understand what they're doing. Because you're a creator, right? And even if you're not a creator, if you're not trying to make money from Instagram, it's not worth it. If you're doing it just because you want a blue check next to your name, that's dumb.
It's ridiculous in my opinion.
Now, why I feel it's worth it, well, it's smart on their end, is because Instagram is a free platform, right? You don't have to get verified if you don't want to. That's just a bonus that they offer for you to have that, to know that, okay, this is me. When I reach my audience, my community, they know I'm the only one writing to them, period. It can't be no scam. It can't be no bots. Like, this is me, and it was verified by Instagram, that I can sell you a course, I can sell you whatever, and you're DMing me, right?
What if your Instagram gets hacked with a blue check mark?
It's probably harder because now they have your ID. You probably just have to send them like, hey, this is me. Like, this is my ID. Send me a picture. It's probably easier to get your account back.
Okay.
Right? But the way I see it is you are using a free platform to make money. And some people make unlimited money on Instagram. Yeah. And they're asking you for $15 a month, which you can write off.
That's like cents for some people.
It's worth it. It's like paying a membership. How many people don't have, like, pay Netflix and probably use it once a year and pay $20 a month?
True.
And you're using a platform. Again, I'm talking about if you are a creator, a person who uses Instagram as a business platform, I think it's worth it.
Interesting. Okay.
It diminishes what the blue check used to be.
For sure.
Right? Because now everybody has it.
Now everybody could just pay for it, yeah.
But it shows me that the person reaching out to me at least is investing $15 into,
is
serious about what they're doing. The way I see it.
That's also a different perspective that I didn't really think about. Because now you know that person is fully invested in whatever business they're trying to, which is a good point.
And from my understanding before, it was like impossible to get verified. So, like, unless you had connections or you had to go through a whole process, I'm pretty sure you had to pay money. Like, you were still paying money to an agency. So they probably was like, all these people are paying money to agencies to get published and this and that. Like, why don't we just charge them $15? Like, Mark Zuckerberg is not dumb. People think IG and Facebook is there. Like, that guy is very, very smart. When it comes to business, like, this $15 a month is going to skyrocket, like, their earnings report and financials as a company.
I'm sure of that.
Which just puts them in a better position to make bigger moves. But on to the next thing. I hear TikTok is getting banned.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's so sad. Our fun platform. Well, I mean, if it happens, it is what it is.
First of all, TikTok been getting banned for like 6 years already.
Yeah, it has been getting banned for a long time. But I think if it's going to get banned, we're closer now than we were before.
Do you really think so?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because Facebook and Instagram was on the same boat.
I don't know. I guess time will tell. You have to be prepared for these things. That's why, you usually hear people, on the internet, such as Gary Vee, always saying, don't put all your eggs on one basket. You have to kind of build up a community that can like kind of transition with you wherever you go, which is definitely the goal. The goal is not to just have a community in one specific platform, but that community to actually get to know you on a personal level, so that anything you decide to take on, any new projects, any new business, people, are up to date with you and they know where to find you. And
there's people everywhere. Like, there's people that are on Instagram and not on TikTok. There's people that are on TikTok and not on Instagram. There's people that are not on TikTok or Instagram and are on YouTube, and so on and so forth. So, like, there is an audience for you in every single platform. Is it hard to create content for every single platform? Absolutely.
Yeah, very challenging, but
it's possible.
It is possible, but I also feel like sometimes you need to kind of focus your attention more on one or two, because if your attention is on too many of them, the quality of your work, it's hard to keep up with it.
But I feel like you shouldn't just ignore it. When something is like super, like, we ignored TikTok a little bit in the beginning, but then we jumped on it and obviously we could tell. Just like YouTube, we missed the perfect era of YouTube, and that's why we're like so behind now.
For sure. I mean, but we just weren't ready for it, you know, when it happened. Everything happened so quickly for us on YouTube, and the reason why, I'm sure a lot of you see that we have like a huge number, not huge, but we have a big number, substantial number of subscribers on YouTube, but, our views on every video isn't like the subscriber count, because first of all,
it was a viral video that happened.
Yeah, and a lot of that's why we also say all the time, and we've said in previous podcasts, that it's not virality that you really want to go after. It's going to happen sometimes without you wanting it to, but it's like important for you to not just chase going viral, and sometimes it's better to just grow slowly, but grow with a community that actually enjoys watching your content, that enjoys who you are authentically, that likes to see your progress and not just follows you because they want to see you, I don't know, they just want to see you do makeup, but you're a multifaceted person, person who's multi-talented at different things, and you're just not a makeup artist in itself. You have other things that you want to share. So sometimes it's better for you to grow slowly and just nurture a community that's going to appreciate every part of you. Yeah. Because that's honestly what I feel now. That's what I feel is sustainable. That's what's going to give you sustainability in the long term, because we grow all the time. When we first started doing YouTube, it's like we were doing a lot of like birthday parties. I was pregnant. We did a maternity shoot. I was into makeup a lot, which I still am, but not like before. I'm more now in the natural era. I'm like 32 years old. I'm more into like, let's do soft, like natural lashes. Like, my style has changed a lot since then. And sometimes when you capture an audience that just wants to see that part of you, it's like,
it's also hard to niche out of it, because it's like they start complaining like, hey, I didn't sign up for this. And
right. So
But I feel like we've always been flexible in what we post. Like you guys will be like, one day it'll be a podcast, one day it'll be a Q&A, one day it'll be we're going on vacation, which we don't do often. But
yeah. Which hopefully we start doing more of. But yeah, we just want a community that is going to accept us the way we are, is going to grow with us, is going to be excited about, you know, the changes in our lives along with us. And it's not just looking for one specific type of content, because my husband and I, you
get bored.
We're into a lot of things, and we're just not one dimensional. We're just not. We're not.
I mean, this podcast explains it. Like today, we didn't feel like talking about relationships or anything like that. It was like, yo, let's just talk about all the things that's been going on.
Right. So there was this video I saw that I wanted to talk about briefly.
Oh, wait. By the way, since we're transitioning from social platform, there is a new platform called Clapper. It mimics TikTok. It mimics TikTok almost identically. It's clearly way below it, but
it's in the beginning stages. If it ever goes anywhere.
If you're a creator, you could download Clapper, add it to your list if you want to do that. It is very organic right now. We created it, and probably within 2 days we had like 200 followers.
I haven't been in it because Babe was the one that downloaded. He was like, let's see how this goes, and then I'll tell you if you should download the app.
Yeah. So we've been trying it out. It's pretty cool. There's one feature that I really like. Mm-hmm. So it asks you, where do you live, right? And you put New York. For us, we put New York. And so at the top, it says, like, the For You page, the people you're following, and then there's a New York tab. So you click New York, and everybody who comes up is from New York. Mm-hmm. I actually met somebody. That reel that I sent you. Oh. So I found him on Clapper. And then from there, I went to Instagram and I followed him and I reached out and I was like, oh, you're a creator here in our area. And he was like, yeah, and so on and so forth. And he's actually coming to that thing we're doing that we haven't told you about.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Because I really like that.
Right, yeah, because, I mean, all the time you're trying to connect with other creators, and that tab just makes it much easier for you to know who's a creator in your area.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Okay, so let's see where Clapper goes, and if it ends up being the next TikTok.
They have no music, though, which is trash. Like, they have, like, super basic, like, instrumentals and stuff.
They got to step it up.
Yeah. I was, like, searching for Karol G and Bad Bunny, and it was like, nope.
I saw this video on TikTok, of course, of this woman. She was talking about the differences in, like, living in Spain rather than living in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. You trying to move?
I mean, this is not the first time I hear these type of comments. There was another place, not Spain, Australia, Sweden. Is it Sweden? I forget. There's another country also where it's like supposedly it's very family friendly. And a lot of people were like going in the comments talking about how the United States, it's like the most, it's really not what it's said to be. And, you know, with all these mass shootings in schools and stuff like that, it really makes you think. Like, what kind of society do we actually live in? What kind of country do we actually live in? And is it really worth the hype? And she was just talking briefly about how when she goes to Spain, everybody over there has she moved from over here thinking she was going to like it here. Mm-hmm. And so she's been noticing how different in culture everything is. Yeah. And she was pointing out how here parents after work have no social life Monday through Friday.
Seems accurate.
She goes, every parent here goes to work, goes back to home, and they isolate with their children. And most parents here work around the child's schedule instead of the child working on the schedule of the parent. Mm. And she says how in Spain it's the opposite. The child works around the parent's schedule. It's not the parent trying to work themselves around the child's schedule. She stated how after work, people over there, is very common for them to after work just go to the local park, and there's like bars or coffee shops at the parks for the parents to like sit down and chit chat. And it's very common for them to like on a random Monday to like go to the coffee shop or have a glass of wine at the park with other parents while the kids play and they like chit chat and socialize. And I was like, you know what? That sounds so nice.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like it's just because of the area that you was in that you feel like that doesn't happen? Because I'll be honest with you. When I get out of work downtown, there's a park that I pass, and I see a lot of people that come downstairs and spend time with their kids and
or socializing. Maybe in different areas, I'm sure that it could happen in certain areas depending on, I guess, the type of people who live around there and what kind of community they have. But it's not that common here, I think. I mean, you guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's that common here in the United States for people to, out of work, go out and socialize.
Let's say here in New York, because we haven't been many places.
Well, yeah, like here where I live, that's definitely not common.
I mean, if you're from another state, like, let us know in the comment section. Like, is this something that happens in
other states?
Yeah,
because here people are very
on the go.
Right, on the go. And I know that is a little bit more laid back and maybe slow pace in some other states, but I don't know if they're just slow pace or they're actually socializing with each other. Like, that's what, really caught my attention about her comment. And I was just thinking, like, wow, that would be so nice. Don't you think that would be nice?
Facts.
To have like that, to feel like, because here I feel like everybody's just waiting for Friday. It's like, oh my God, it's Friday. And then the weekend comes and it's like, it's too short. It's only 2 days, which most parents are just running errands because they only have those 2 days to, I don't know, catch up with the cleaning up in the house, go do grocery shopping, whatever it is that they didn't have the time to do Monday through Friday because they were coming home rushing to get the kids ready for the next day and themselves. That is just, it's like a run.
Yeah. I mean, we can even see it like where we live. There's like a kind of community area. And even in the summer, it was pretty much just you.
I'm like, seriously? Seriously, people? Qué aburrido. And mind you, like where we are, the patio, right, in the summertime, because it's outdoors, it's enclosed. It's like, let's say, a rooftop, but it's not really in the roof. You literally just have to get out of your apartment and go to the patio. And you could just go there for maybe an hour or two to like, but it's dead. Like, I've seen the past summer that, because we've only been there for about a year and a half. In the summertime, I'm taking advantage of this. I'm taking full advantage of this because I've never had this in my life. This is the first time I get something like this. And, I appreciate it. And so when the summertime comes, I usually don't want to be indoors. I want to be outdoors. So I would go down to the patio once I was done working, and I would just, take some sun, the warmth. I love the summertime, and it gives me energy, vitamin D. And I would take a blanket downstairs, and we would do like a little picnic with the kids, and I would put it in the patio. And I would just lay there. Sometimes I would read a book. Sometimes I would watch something. But I wanted to be outside, breathing fresh air. Or just walking around, like the patio. And it was very rare occasions that I would see other people, coming outside and, doing the same thing, walking around. But this building is huge. Like, I just cannot understand why you wouldn't take advantage of that, especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
Especially when you're coming out of work, most of the time you might not have time to like leave further out because you have to make it back, I don't know, for dinner or to get ready for the next day. But this area is designated for the people who live in the building, and it's right on your building. Like, it doesn't get easier than that. But, I just feel like it's a culture thing. It's just, a lot of people, especially in New York, are always running and about. and they're not really thinking about relaxing and just socializing with other people. There's aquí hay mucha gente antipática. No le gusta hablar con gente.
No, but besides that, like I've seen a lot of people moving out of the United States because I follow a few creators that, and actually I know somebody whose family did the same thing. They actually moved to Mexico.
Wow.
And like not the border, but like not far from the U.S. They can probably drive in.
Okay.
And they live like great and some of them are work remote from the U.S. So making U.S. money in Mexico. Ooh. And are living like amazing. And they're just like, yeah, it's the best thing ever over here.
Absolutely. And I think that when people do that, they're just looking for that difference in culture.
And like I was telling you today, when I picked up the stuff, the lady was like, oh, that she moved to DR and just decided to stay over there.
I mean, seriously, if you make U.S. dollars and you live somewhere like in the Dominican Republic, you live very well.
Even if you don't and you go with like a profession that you can make money and just figure out how to make money, you live very, very good.
Hey. And then again, people usually do that, not because they're going to make more money wherever they're going to go, but because the difference in lifestyle. I think that's just so important in how we feel on a daily basis. It really sucks for you to have to wake up every day, feel like your day is rushed every day, and just be counting down the days for Friday.
Switching a little bit of topic, there was this, I'll just say staff member at the hospital that I work with. She went to school to do what she's doing. And I told her that I was leaving. She was like, wow, amazing. And she's like an older lady. Her kids are going to college and all that. And she was saying that she got like a substantial raise and she was still not happy.
How sad. Is that money doesn't equate to that, especially when you are fed up with the routine that you have, or maybe you don't like the work environment you're in. Money isn't going to fix it.
And another thing is that I've realized that people who transition to these places, you notice like how much things they actually don't need. Like they live such a simpler life that here is just like, yo, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And you see they transition over there and like, it's just simple.
But don't you think sometimes that makes me wonder, is it because we're so unhappy here with the rest of our life that we need to compensate? We need to feel like we're compensating with material things?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, for example, if you're at a job you actually don't like to work there and you're just basically going there because you need a paycheck, but you make good money, somewhere in your mind you're like, oh, now I need to go get this expensive ass car because, I deserve it. I work hard for it, But what does it really mean, or what does it really matter that you're driving this nice, really nice car every day, yet you don't have time to actually enjoy the car or to go to places.
Or you're miserable during the day when you're not driving the car.
Right. Or that you don't even have enough time to enjoy your car. It's only on the weekends or whenever, your boss decides that, you can be off and enjoy your car. Sometimes it makes me feel like the consumerism that is huge right now, we're trying to compensate for something that we're lacking. But yeah, I think it's a little sad.
Facts.
But yeah, also something else, going back to the TikTok that I was watching, that she pointed out was how the U.S., she feels like the U.S. is so not pro-kid. And the comment section. Sorry. Did I? Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just had to hug the mic.
From an audio listener, she just like wrapped the mic.
The comment section on this video that I was watching. Oh my God. The things that some people say just make me wonder, how miserable can you be? She was stating how some people feel here, they can say things like, don't bring your kid, like we don't want them here, kind of thing. And she was stating how back in her home, kids are welcome everywhere. even, it's basically like, how sometimes here, which I understand sometimes, but I also understand the other side. You know how sometimes here, let's say you have a wedding and they say no kids allowed. Mm-hmm. But if I'm a mom and I have 3 kids and I don't have anyone to watch my kids, then that means I can't come either. That means I'm not invited because I have children.
Yeah.
Isn't it a little, I don't know what the word would be. It's
nasty.
Isn't it a little, it's I'm conflicted with that because I do understand that some parents don't have control with their kids and they'll just let their kid, run wild, which I also think that's a problem.
That's a whole nother topic.
Right. I personally, my kids know. Yeah. Like if I'm somewhere, I'll give them the talk like, hey, we're going to this place, behave, manners.
King Kong.
And people who hang around us, they usually tell us that our kids are really well behaved. And, I just lay the cards down, I just let them know what it is. They know where they can and cannot act up. Mm-hmm. And I think as a parent, you need to have a hold of that.
Yeah.
It's your job. It's your responsibility. They're your kids. It's not okay for you to be at a party, at a wedding, anywhere, and your kid just to be running wild and you just sitting back relaxing like, okay, go ahead. Tumbar el cuadro a las mujeres, eso no importa. Like, you have to have control. And so I get why some people would say that, but in the same regard, children are the future and they should be involved in things. Mm-hmm. Of course, they shouldn't be involved if you're going to a bar. There's limits.
Yeah.
But there's certain things where, it shouldn't bother you for a kid to be there. It shouldn't be such a big deal. And so she was just stating how kid-friendly Spain is and how they're very accepted. And, everywhere you go when you have a child, you and your child are well treated. Mm-hmm. And how if there's a line and you have children, people usually let you go first. That kind of mannerism, which you definitely barely see here.
Fact.
And I think it's sad because, like she was saying, kids are the future, and we shouldn't be treating kids as if they're a burden. Yeah. We should be treating them as giving them the example of what being polite means. We should be giving them the example and showing them good manners and being friendly and showing them how to be kind and compassionate instead of just making them feel like kids know, they listen. Yeah. Instead of making them feel like they're just a burden and they're not wanted here. So just food for thought. I thought that was very interesting. So, babe, at some point we might move out of the United States because...
Give us some ideas.
No, but I just thought that was very interesting. And, who knows? I'm always open for things like that. I know that at this point, it's almost impossible for us.
That is not the surprise.
But, it's good to have an open mind because you never know what the future holds.
Facts. But
I think that
wraps up today's video. We gave you multiple topics. This was cool.
Okay, so that's it for today's podcast, you guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening. If you're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us your reviews. It helps us a lot. If you're here on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button if you've gotten to the end of the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell so you can be notified every time we post a video. And that's it. Until next time.
Peace.